Hello everyone, welcome back to another great modeling tutorial. In the very first part, I'm going to show you how you can model this bottle. I am really happy with the result. This is the final result. As you can see, this is looking really good. In the second part of this tutorial series, I will show you how you can unwrap UVs. And this is the result. This is for the late. And in the third part, I think, which is the most important one, I will show you how you can create tileable patterns. Let me open up the picture viewer. This is the baked texture. I didn't save of RD. Now let me show you the result. Yeah, as you can see, this is looking really good. I am really happy with the result, considering that this is a bump map, not a displacement map. And I think the most importantly, it is seamless. Anyway, if you're interested in these, you could find part 2 and 3 on my Patreon. But in this part, we are gonna model this bottle. Anyway, now let's get into the tutorial. I'm gonna change my layout first. Let's click on the model one, which will give us more room. After doing that, I will go to the front view. I'm gonna hit Shift and V, back, and I'm gonna import in my image plane. I'm gonna bump up transparency to, let's say, 80%. Perfect. Now I will start to add in my first object, which will be a circle. I will be using the loft generator in this tutorial to build up the basic shape of the bottle. So let's select the circle, change its orientation, and this is going to be right over here. After doing that, I will hold down Control, drag this up. This is going to be the second one. Then I'm going to hold down Control, move this up over here. Now, as a starting point, these are going to be enough, but we should watch out the order of these circles. This should be right over here. This should be right in the middle, and this should be at the top. Now, grab them. Actually, let's first bring in the loft and select these all and put them in the loft. Perfect. Now, all I need to do is scale some of these down or up. For example, this one in the middle, so I should scale this in. Then I need to grab this and rotate this around to follow the flow of the bottle. Then I will need extra circles. For example, I can hold down Control and drag this circle down, which will create a new circle. And then I could bring this down and scale it up. Grab the one above it, rotate it, scale it. Then I will need probably another one over here. But as I said, you should be really careful about the order. So if I want something on top of that circle, I should hold down Control and drag this up and move it over here, rotate it, scale it up. Also, I'm gonna make my bottle slightly larger than the reference image because I will be using subdivision surface, so my object will be drawn in slightly. So for that reason, I'm gonna make my object slightly larger. And this one, scale it up, move it down. Maybe we may need another one right over here, but again, as I said, we should be really careful about the order. So I'm gonna hold down Control, drag this off over here, right below this circle. And I need to scale this in. Nice. Let's check this one. Okay, I think we are looking great over here. Now I need to make some of these circles editable to scale them on the only one axis. For example, right now I cannot do that. Let's select that circle and hit T. If I want to scale this only on the z-axis, I will not be able to do that because this is still a primitive spline. So I should make it editable, hit C. Then I will be able to scale these on only one axis. I did this because if we go to the right view, we are going to see that the shape is not smooth. I mean, I don't know much about the bottle, but let's try to make it as smooth as possible. So for that reason, I am gonna select that circle. I'm gonna make it editable. And I'm gonna scale this only on the z-axis so that we are gonna have a good curve. Let's hit N and B and let's see what we have. By the way, let's turn this off, the word plane. I want this bottle as uniform as possible. So let's go to the loft and make some changes. For example, the first thing we could do is turning off the per segment option. Then I'm gonna bump this up. 16 is great for use subdivision. For the V, we could keep the same, or we could increase that up slightly. All right. By the way, we don't need any caps. Nice. To test this out, we could put this one under a subdivision surface. Hold down Alt and click on subdivision surface. Click off. Hit NNA. Check the bottle from different angles. Check the other views as well. All right, not bad. It is not exactly the same, but I will make further adjustments later. For the starting point, this is going to be more than enough. So let's make this one editable. Before doing that, I'm going to rename this to projection because I will be using this object for projection. I'm going to hold down Control, drag this off, hide the first one as a backup. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So let's make this editable. This is going to give me a high poly object and it's going to be perfectly smooth. We are going to keep that as much as possible. After doing that, I will change my layout to paint mode so that I could start to paint on these details. As I always do, I simplify the process by forgetting any kind of details on the target object. In this case, we forgot all about that detail in the middle. We just focused on the general shape, the general outline of the bottle. After getting that, we could get into the details. In this case, it's going to be that black part on the bottle. I don't want to cycle through between the views, so I will try to draw this on the bottle. To do that, we need to first open up the Paint 3D setup, then say next, next, 1K will be more than enough, and say finish. Close that. Now we are going to be able to draw anything on this bottle. All right, let's go to the front view. But we are not going to see through, right? To see through, select the projection and click on X-ray. Perfect. Now let's start to draw. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then for these straight edges, I could click on, then hold down Shift. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. If you want to see this on the other side, you could delete this half and hold down Alt. Let's go back to the model mode, hold down Alt, select symmetry. We want to mirror this on the Z-axis, so turn this off and enable Z. You don't need to see the plane, and you could also enable weld, which will weld these points in the middle. Perfect. We got our reference. Now it is time to model these details. To model them, I think first I need to make the symmetry editable because I will be using polygon pen tool with projection on. So then I'm gonna go to mesh, click on polygon pen tool and enable reproject result. By doing so, whatever I add in will be projected on this bottle. Let's start from here, add that polygon in, then hold down Control, extrude this. Try to keep the process as simple as possible. Try to add large polygons because I will be subdividing that new mesh. By the way, I want to enable X-ray one more time, so it's going to be much easier to see what we are doing. As I said, try to do that as simple as possible. Nice. Now let's check the shape. The first thing I notice is that point, that pole over here. So I'm thinking about adding an edge over here so that I could add this one in and get rid of this one. So we shifted that pole over here, which will be much better. We need to add more edges. Now let's try to even this out by moving the points away from each other. Okay, this is looking fine as a starting point. Now I'm gonna hold that control and try to model the rest. It is really easy with the polygon pen tool. We just need to hold down control and go up. I can accidentally weld this. So I'm gonna hit Shift and V, go to the filter, or sorry, the view, and enable back face culling. So I'm not gonna see the other side of the mesh. And I need to see the center edges. In this case, these are gonna be my edges right in the center. So grab these, go to the coordinates, set this to world first, then flatten these out on the z-axis because I'm gonna mirror this on the z-axis. As I said, grab these, go to z, position first, and scale this to 0, zero these out. Then you need to do the same thing on the size of these edges. Zero these out, and here we go. Grab polygon pen tool one more time. The shortcut is M and E. Alt down control and extrude these out. As you can see, since we have a mesh that doesn't have lots of polygons, the process is going to be really, really easy. We don't want to do something like that. Otherwise, it's going to make it really crowded over here. You know, we are trying to keep it as low as possible. So for that reason, I'm going to connect this, then get rid of that edge. Our first mission is keeping this as low as possible. Then I will grab these center ones one more time. I think at this point we could turn off that backface culling because I want to see what I have selected. Yes. Grab these boundary edges, go to coordinates, and zero these out. Position and the size. Okay, this is looking great. Now let's put this one under a subdivision surface. Sorry, first we need to put this one under a symmetry. I will hide my projection for the moment. Let's focus on this only. Hold down Alt. Since the center axis of that object is right in the middle of the world, symmetry should work perfectly. Hold down Alt, select symmetry. We just need to change the mirror axis. In this case, it is facing Z, so we should turn on X and enable Z. I'm gonna grab that point because it is slightly off. So let's zero this out. And that's looking great. I will enable weld. We don't need to see the plane. I'm gonna make this editable. Nice. Now let's hold down Alt, edit subdivision, surface. But we are going to have a problem. We lost the detail we added in the one in the middle. So I will turn this off for the moment. And let's hit NNG. Double click on these edges. Select the boundary of that detail. Yeah, then I should be able to make a fill selection. UNF. Perfect. Then actually we could have followed an easier way, but I will follow this approach. I'm gonna hold down Control and click on Points mode. Then I will grab brush selection and I'm gonna deselect these points in the middle. I will just need the boundary points. Then I'm gonna hold down Control and click on the edge mode. Nice. Now I'm gonna enable subdivision surface. Right click and push this out. I'm gonna click on this connect. This should give me that detail back. Perfect. Let's select subdivision surface. I'm gonna bring this down to 1 because 2 will be too much. So 1 is gonna be a perfect value. Nope, let's make the subdivision surface editable. I will make some changes. Overall, this is looking great. I just need to slide some of them like that point. Then to snap is on that point, I'm going to enable snap and click on that point. Same here. Grab these, click on that point. Then I guess, yeah, that part is going to put too much stress on that area, and you can tell it by looking at these edges. So I'm going to try to lower that stress over here. And since I will subdivide that mesh one more time, I could easily move these around. All right, now to mirror this on the other side, I could click on options of the symmetrize, turn off link with hub, and we want to mirror these on the z-axis. We edit these on the minus side of the z, so I should select minus to positive z and click on. Okay, yeah, perfect. Now the next step will be shrink wrap. Deformer, grab the object, hold down shift and select shrink wrap deformer. And in the target object tab, I will use my first projection object. Bring this one in and here we go. Since these are still disconnected, these are going to act like two different objects. So I will turn this off first, go back to my soldering surface, select them all and click on optimize. Yeah, this is gonna merge the points that are really close to each other. Perfect. And if I enable this one, it should be in model mode. I'm gonna turn this on and off and you're gonna see the difference. Perfect. Now let's apply that deformer. Right click on the object and click on connect objects and delete. Nice. Now I'm gonna turn off snap. I'm gonna grab these boundary edges of the tail, hold down shift, keep double clicking on them. Then fill selection, UNF, or you could get it from the selection menu right over here. After doing that, I will right click, grab insert tool. We are gonna need something like that, not too much. After doing that, we could grab these polygons. It should be really easy with the loop selection tool. Then grab extrude tool, extrude these in 2 times. I do this so that I could use these as supporting edges. Then let's find out if this is gonna work. I'm gonna hold down Alt and add that subdivision surface in. And here we go. This is looking perfect. To smooth this out further, we could use smoothing deformer, hold down shift, add that one in. Obviously, this is going to be too much, so we need to bring this down to, let's say, something like 6 maybe. To see the difference, we could turn this on and off. Yeah, obviously, we are going to need that smoothing deformer. Nice. Then I should apply this, right click, connect objects and delete. Perfect, but it's not there yet. As you can see, we don't have a perfect result. We need to alter the shape just a little bit further, and I will be doing that with brush tool. So first click off, select every point, then grab brush tool, make it larger or smaller, and move these points around basically. All right, it is looking perfect. The only thing that I don't like is that section. It looks like this part is too pointy, so why not we select this and scale this on the Z to make it rounder, basically. Then these ones. Yeah, something like that, but don't push it too much. Yeah, no, that looks just a little bit better. By the way, we have some distortion, perspective distortion in this image, in the image plane. So I will not follow that curve. Basically, if I add in a disk and do something like that, if I go to the front view, as you can see, the top section is perfectly flat, but if I go to the 3D view, you are going to see that the top is curved, and this is only happening because of the camera lens. So in this kind of situations, try to ignore this kind of perspective distortions in the image planes. Let's get rid of that. Okay, now let's finish off the bottle. I'm going to click on these edges, hold down shift, scale this on the Y and stop at 0%, which will make them perfectly flat. Then I will hold down Control, scale this in. After doing that, I'm gonna right click and select Close Polygon Hole Tool. I will select Patch Mode, and I will try to rotate this around so that I could have these center edges. Perfect. Then to make it just a little bit interesting, I'm gonna make another loop selection. Move this up, then grab that point, enable soft selection. I'm gonna set my follow to DOM, and let's see if I could move this up. Yeah, let's go to the right view, move this up. Nice, I could turn this off. I'm gonna just dissolve these edges and add that supporting edge, hit Q, and it looks great. Yeah, I will probably need this one as well. Nice, now the top. I'm gonna hit T, but before scaling in, I think we should set our axis to the normal one. Yeah, hit Q, hit Control, scale this in. Then I'm gonna hold that Control, move this up, scale it in. I'm gonna double click on this, move this on the X. Nice. Then over here, grab scale tool, hold down Control, scale this in. Then hold down Control, move this in. I will enable subdivision surface. Hit Q, grab lookup tool, add these ones in, and here we go. Now, the other part, which will be really easy, I will just steal these polygons, right click, split, then grab these edges, hold down control, move these up. Again, I don't have much idea about the actual shape of the puzzle, but it's gonna be probably something like that. So maybe we could grab line cut tool. I will turn off visible only and add that edge, then get rid of these ones. Then grab these edges, T, scale these in. Nice. I'm gonna slow this. It is not working. It's probably because of that subdivision surface. Yes. I'm gonna get rid of these edges because I want to select them all and extrude them all to polygons. Enable create caps option. I'm gonna delete these polygons, but in some cases you may need to show the inside of that delete. So in such cases, keep this on, but in my case, you're not gonna see that part. So I will just delete these polygons. Now all I need to do is export edges, enable subdivision surface. It's not gonna work because we need to group these, Alt and G. Grab this. I'm gonna rename that to leads and this one to bottle. Add these edges in. If you want something tighter, you can add this one in as well. Perfect. Our bottle is ready. Now let's check the wireframes. I'm gonna set this to ISO parts. Yeah, looks perfect. Nearly perfect. I think it's perfect, but I am really happy with the result.